It's Laura Eubanks of your succulent tip of the day. Okay, well, we're obviously off to a great start. It's Walkabout Wednesday, guys, and I'm starting from the front instead of over in the back, and it's got me all shimmered. But I just thought it was worth showing you. Remember, we talked about my love-hate relationship with my aeoniums, how crappy they look in the summer, and then they always make this incredible resurgence in the winter, and this is what I'm talking about. I need you to remind me next summer when I start bitching about them, about how pretty they look right now. Can you imagine if I had pulled these out when I was unhappy with them? I would have missed this. We got some rain last night here in sunny Chula Vista, and oh my gosh, the barrel cactus are just looking so adorable. The Aloe Procera is starting to leaf out at the very top. Typically, when this plant gets water stressed, it loses its leaves at the very top. And as soon as you water it, it starts to leaf back out, assuming that what temperatures are warm. So you can see where that's happening. And look at this little vignette. Remember how we redid this? You know, it was like the courtyard planner 12.0. I always kept trying to keep this in tapestry and doing all these, you know, futzy things with it. But the truth is, this is a really hot spot in my yard in the summer. And I was just sick and tired of having to get in there and do it and redo it. So that little, granted, this blue glow isn't going to live here forever. It's going to get 4 times that size and we'll have to move it. But for now, it's great. And that little mystery aloe dahlia hybrid whatever is getting ready to bloom and just looks spectacular. No, I haven't done anything with the courtyard planters yet, but I promise you I will. And I think the highlight in this area here is my clam. Look at the little Athona with its cute little yellow flowers. Look at how great the Tillandsias look in here, and the little Cynthia Giddy all red and cute. Oh my gosh, this got hammered this summer. And I'm talking like a few weeks ago. It was still hot, hot, hot. And I'm just so thrilled with it. It's got no drainage. It's root bound and just thriving. I'm so proud of it. Okay, let's march around the side here. Boop. We found this. Where did we get this? Del Mar. Oh, one of our clients is going to throw this away. It's like a dog cage, but we thought it would be great to protect a new tree this spring up at the ranch from deer. So we're going to take that with us. My little specimen garden here, I have finally figured out its purpose. Again, after how many iterations, this is going to be where I put really cool plants that I love that I know I can't keep forever because my yard isn't big enough. So this Agave Sunglow, for example, is going to be dug up and homed in San Marcos. It's absolute perfection. So, you know, the Blue Glow, the Sun Glow, the Tight Nota Hybrid, the Perrii, you know, and then I've got some mystery aloes in here, and I'm not sure what they're going to do. My Ferdinand, Regis Ferdinands are, you know, once they pup, I can take cuttings from those. So this will always and forever be in a state of flux. I got to rub my booby cactus for luck. I just love a cactus with no thorns, don't you? This is like a stress ball. It is so fun and relaxing to just love on that plant. I just think that is the weirdest, most wonderful thing in the world. My gutters, wow, wow, wow. I know they looked great last week, but darn it if they don't look even better today. I have found myself going through and removing a lot of spider webs and cobwebs, but hey, you know, that's no big deal, right? Get out into your gardens, remove dead head, get rid of spider webbing, check for mealybug, aphids, scale, and other pests, treat accordingly. But mostly at this time of the year, just enjoy your garden. The aloe that rotted, as promised, I did put that in a pot. So I haven't top dressed it or anything yet because I kind of want to be able to keep an eye on it a bit and make sure that the rot isn't you know, moving up the plant. So I'll keep you posted on this. I just recently took this Aloe Cameronii. I could see that it was starting to turn a little green. So I just recently cut all the roots off and reset. And by reset, I mean basically just set it on the ground here, because I want to keep these Cameronii in my garden really, really red. And that's how I do that. My aeonium sunburst crest is just super duper happy. Still concerned about my Agave attenuata variegatas though. No pups yet. I'll keep you posted. Now that we're getting into fall and the days are getting shorter and the nights are getting cooler and the aeoniums are waking up, the Graptivaria Bentley, the Graptivaria Fred Ives are also waking up and looking super spectacular. So yeah, this area in here is really filling in and looking beautiful. Really happy also with the changes that we made this year in the succulent fountain. Getting rid of some of the small fussy plants and popping in some bigger, tougher things like the little aloes and the morganianum, the sedum, the donkey tail. Bigger, more substantial echeverias, aeonium sunburst, things that I never would have thought to put in here are actually working out great. Oh yeah, oh gosh, lemon tree. All right, so no, I may not have repotted the pots in the courtyard in the front yet, but I did do as promised, and I pulled all the competing plant material out around the lemon tree. I tipped the pot, and due to this lip right here, I couldn't get the plant out, but it was not root bound. What I ended up doing was adding a bag of rich organic citrus soil all around the edges of the plant. And then I got this Marfill, and this is a non-paid testimonial here, or I guess I should say review. So this soil conditioner is made, it's basically a marine phytoplankton soil enhancer, and I wanted to give it a try first because remember what I told you, we love lemons and we squeeze them into our water daily. So I wanted something that was extremely organic and healthy. And you all agreed that we probably had some imbalances in the soil, and that's what was causing the chlorosis on this plant and its inability to throw fruit. So after a lot of searching, I found this this Marfill. Now this was like $18 for this bottle, and the table said dilute 20 to 1. So I was able to take a cup of this to basically 2 gallons of water and apply it to the plant, and it used up half the bottle. And then I read the back, it said to do this once every 2 weeks. Now I'm no mathematician, but I'm not spending $40 a month on soil enhancements for the lemon tree. So we'll see, you know, let's give it some time. I will treat it again in 2 weeks, and then, you know, we'll see if we have any improvement before we move on to plan B. Hannah says, what if I use less water and more of this?
Just make your ratio smaller.
Well, it said on the ingredients specifically not to do that, that you can literally kill the plant. So I'm not much of a rule follower, and I pretty much always do what I want in the garden, but this isn't a succulent, A, and 2, I wanted to do a little scientific experiment and really try to follow the rules and see, because I don't want to guess at this. I want to get it right so that this tree will continue to thrive for years to come, and I'll know how to treat it. So we'll see. We'll see how that works. I'll keep you all posted. Someone of you pointed out that the work that I did here by resetting all the little sedums looked very much like a phallus. So clearly I need help. I'm clearly disturbed, and consider this my cry for help, because now that I look at it, I can see it. It wasn't intentional, I assure you, but there it is. So what the hell is wrong with me? Help. Okay. Oh, the little Aloe Bainesii in the back corner in the red pot, those little new branchlets are starting to really become somewhat significant. So I'm seriously considering hacking that plant down to a nub and seeing what happens. But I won't do that without you. We shall see. I have noticed at the nursery when the aloe Bainsii fall over, and I say to the nursery owner, "Oh my gosh, that's the craziest, weirdest looking Bainsii. You know, what variety or what type is it?" "Oh, well, you know, it just fell over and broke, and that's what happened." And I loved it. It's kind of low profile. So we'll see. I may mess with that. It's a very viable plant still. My prison wall, oh, the bougainvillea is putting on its final show of the season, and I am enjoying the heck out of it, because once all of those flowers fall off, guess what I'm going to be doing for for like an entire day, picking those out of all of the succulents. But that's okay. For me, it's totally worth it. Naturally, the one in the middle is not going off, as sort of a middle finger to me, I think. God bless Mother Nature. And of the wall itself, down below, you knew my plan was to get more height and more going there. And I'm really, really happy with all the waking aeoniums, with my little Agave attenuata in there, my crassulas, portulacarias. I also took, remember that leggy aloe that was just sitting on the ground and had all those dead leaves? I did cut it back like I said I would, and I just set the top piece right there, and that looks 100% better. Oh my gosh. Here's another plant, this little Agave Medio Picta that is so cute. It was a third of or a quarter of this size when I put it there, and at some point it will have to make its way to a client's yard too. But for now, I'm going to enjoy it immensely. Look at my Agavoides lipsticks, how they're spreading. Isn't that spectacular? And this is one of Hannah's favorites, the Aloe distans. This is such a cool stacking aloe. I love this plant. Yeah, Hannah says it looks like a rose or a tulip. Really pretty plant. Very, very happy with this middle section. I mean, look at my Crassula undulata. If you are looking for a succulent, kind of like a hedge, this is the plant for you. This is natural. I haven't touched this. This is just how this plant grows. And can you imagine it as a hedgerow? How beautiful that would be. Got to thinking too, my Graptivaria Fred Ives have clearly run amok. I have way too many of them right now in my garden. So I'm going to harvest a few of the prettiest, biggest ones and work them into my next project, so I can share the love and spread the wealth. This Brugmansia, my angel trumpet, I will also be cutting that down to a nub at the end of the year. Remember during quarantine when it broke? Like I had trained it just onto one trunk, and then there were all these leaves and flowers, and it was hanging over the pond, and it was so great, and it just cracked off one night. And then that happened. So knowing that this plant is a total weed and I can control the shape of it, since it's ugly in the wintertime anyway and pretty much without leaves, I will also be cutting that back to a nub. These, oh gosh, I mean, this whole area right here along the waterfall is just crazy how beautiful it is. But the aloe Goliath, as though she knew we were talking about her. Look, Hannah, it's throwing off. It's going to split. And it's growing two heads out of the center there. And I'm afraid that my days are numbered, as far as when it's going to be safe to try to excavate and move this plant without destroying it. I may just have to rebuild my garden around it. One of you guys suggested that I start thinking of my garden and converting more to a succulent specimen garden. And you're not wrong. I'm just not ready. I love all of the color and the textures of some of the smaller, more common plants. But point taken. Like this. This is so cute. Look at this guy. How fabulous is that crest? Myrtillo cactus crest. And then my Susan Ock pot that I planted was looking, kind of sad this summer. I put some things in it that I don't normally use. But the Lycopoidioides and this, you know, big fat aeonium. I just moved some of my ghosties from my grapefruit pot into this spot right here. And the, yeah, this little guy, the neon breakers that was looking so gross in the summer, I flipped the pot 180 degrees so it would get more shade, and hopefully it will come back with a vengeance. Here's another sun glow, bigger than the one that I'm going to be putting into my client's garden, and you can see that it also got a little tweaked this summer. It's got some sunburn. What this tells me is, in a perfect world, this plant would be protected from the hottest part of the day. Our gayei is still gayeying. Oh look, I missed some poo. Shame on me. Oh my gosh, look at the bougainvillea pot. Wow, it was really pretty last week when we did our walkabout, but it's just even better this week. This is such a great little spot in my garden. It just gets the last light of the day in the fall, just enough to keep everything looking really perky without giving it any negative stress. Ooh, this aeonium is soft and fuzzy.
Herbicum?
I know, it's a hairy herbicum. It feels really good. It's very tactily pleasing. I don't see anything spectacular happening here since we met up last week. Nothing's blooming or doing anything terribly interesting, but this really cool, impossibly colored, hot pink cactus. And if you know what that is, please let me know in the comments. Look at all the little babies on it. I'm going to be keeping my eye on that because I would love to have more of these. And, oh my gosh, yeah, this little cornucopia, I did this for PBS. There's going to be a half an hour with me actually doing this with Nick Federoff. It will be airing on Saturday, I believe it's November 9th, if I'm not mistaken, at 9 a.m. on LA's PBS. It's also going to be live streaming on YouTube, so I'll let you know about that. Anywho, it's still looking great, those little cuttings there. This aeonium, or I'm sorry, not aeonium, this euphorbia has got an interesting little seed pod growing on it right there. That's pretty cool. You're also going to be seeing in your gardens right now, if you live in Southern Cal in particular, we had a lot of heat and sun, and then we have some rain, and I mean, weeds have literally popped up overnight. But you guys, now is the time to go after them because they are so easy to pull, and it is the most gratifying thing you will do. Our shade gutters, ooh la la, wow, 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 is all I can say. Even these Morganianum that I planted as cuttings, you know, where they were barely touching the dirt, you know, are rooted now. Granted, it did take a minute, but they are looking good. Every week, the string of pearls is fatter and fuller and looking happier. And look, we're just a couple inches away from this string hitting the ground. And I know that once that roots down there and sends energy back up, this is going to really be spectacular. Take a good look at the beautiful Echeveria, because I have a feeling that soon, when the weather gets cold, it's probably going to go to a nub and drop all its leaves. So really enjoy looking at that right now. And this mammillaria is so slow. But see, look, it's thrown off a baby right there. And it's got some babies back there. So I'm excited for that to take off, and maybe I can divide it at some point and have more of those in my garden. Well, that's about all she wrote for Walkabout Wednesday in this late October afternoon. I hope you all are enjoying your gardens, and if you're not, get out there and do it. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with Walkabout Wednesday. You're the best. Your succulent tip of the day. Bye, guys.